Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another wonderfully fun, delightful, good use of my time slime video. So, we have received the new challenge quest, VELDORA Against Revenge, and it is the hardest quest in the game thus far. We have never had a 500,000 EP requirement for any quest ever. And, they wanted to make it hard, so they gave him literally everything in the kitchen sink, right? So let's take a look at his info real fast. He is a stupid mofo, alright? He has 532,000 HP, which you can't see, but there it is, right there. 9.4k attack, 10.4k defense, these numbers will go up. He is weak to physical, which is good to know. You cannot stun him. You cannot stun him, so don't bother bringing Light 3.0. It's just not worth it. To be honest, I didn't even try. He gives himself guaranteed crit and guaranteed pierce. Turn 1. Start of fight. So, good luck with that. Also, it doesn't say in here, except for right here, that his counterattack rate goes up. This is on turn 5, where he gives himself guaranteed counters and a 20% chance to super counter. But you'll notice, when you attempt this fight, that he will counter you whenever. And whatever unit's going to take that hit, you take like 2 hits on that, that unit's dead. That unit is going to die because he ults every other turn. So turn 1, you're fine. Turn 2, he ults. But then turn 2, he also locks and binds 2 people in, which is right here. Chance to poison, frostbite, and bind a single target. Now what this doesn't tell you is that this is 2 people. 2 people get poison, frostbite, and bind it in. Not 1, but 2. So that's also fun. I have not figured out how he determines who gets binded, but it's going to be someone you don't want there. It's going to be someone who has an ult that's going to keep you from getting a full 6-hand of something, or it's going to be a weak unit that's going to die. That's how it's going to go. If you get to turn 8, he will heal himself by 25% HP, and then give himself Drago, just like Space Millum, which is the first time that any enemy has ever given them the Drago effect. So that's fun. And then, every 2-3 turns, he buffs himself. So, like I said, he ults every other turn. Attack up, crit damage, additional, max of 20% every 3 turns, pierce power, counter power, all this goes up. So this 9.4 and this 10.4, with guaranteed crits, guaranteed pierce, stacking, ults every other turn. Turn 5 is pretty much a waste because you can't do anything except maybe send a wasted ult or send an orb on someone who has a lot of health so they don't die. But if you take a crit super counter, they're gonna be dead. They're gonna die. So this stage literally does everything. He is type neutral too, so you can bring any team you want against him. But right now, I'm only aware of 2 teams. 2 teams that can do it. So, I have already cleared it, obviously, because I already have the thing. So I'm going to throw up some pre-recorded gameplay of me clearing it with the first team that I beat it with, which is the Fire team. Because the Fire team is good at burst damage. It also is good at doing big mommy damage with Violet, and the burn damage. The burn damage is essential. Essential, because you don't have, this isn't a team with like super big buffs, right? It's a lot of small buffs that really power up Violet. So that's what we're going to see. So let me go ahead and throw that up here, and then we'll get started. Alright, so after many hours, and an actual whole day, we have finally cleared it with the Fire team, with everyone alive, no less. This is not the first time I clear it, because I did clear it with the Fire team prior, but I was down to like 1 person left. So I figured we could do a little better than that, so I came back. One thing to note, I did shard my Violet up, but in this segment that you're about to watch, she is still 92. So I sharded her to make it easier for other content in the future, and I had a bunch of shards. But in this clip where I actually clear it with everyone alive, she was still level 92, not 100. So we've got the hero, we've got Shizu, we've got hero, which I know some people have used not hero. I think some people brought like Millum, Dark Millum, or Win Shuna, one of the two, Orb Changer and alt buff, Violet, and then Benimaru. I'm just going for straight up burn damage though, with a turn of Rewind. So let's go ahead and throw this on, and let's skip ahead a little bit more. There we go. So obviously this stage is only meant for real big tryhards, people who have a dedicated team that can live, because this stage is not fun, who can do damage because this stage is not fun. It's a challenge, all right? I know there are some people out there, the sweaty ones, that are like, ew, it was a challenge for about 5 minutes. It took me a good couple hours, right, to get the no death fire run. A couple of hours. It was mind-achingly painful. But here we go, turn 1. I orb change with the Benimaru to try and get a full hand of blue, and we almost get it. Unfortunately, we didn't. So we got 5 blue, so we're going to swap Shizu out for Violet. We're going to send this. It's going to give us a good amount of protection gauge right here. And we're just going to do damage. We got 1 stack of burn on from the orb change. Not a big deal. But then we get a good hand, because it's, 4 green and 2 orange, and we have enough points to use Benimaru's orb change again. So we're going to do that. We're binded, we're locked, we're poisoned, we're frostbited, whatever. But we're still going to send this, which is going to get us double Toa. And 84 points, which is excellent. And we get a cheeky counter. By the way, if you take more than 2 counters on a single unit, your run is over. If you're trying to keep everyone alive. The run is over. Because he's going to ult one of you. He's going to counter you again somewhere. Because he has, an unspoken 30% counter rate. That's what I feel like it is. Because I've been countered none, and I've been countered 6 times in one fight. And I rip my hair out every time. But here, we've got a whole bunch of points. We've got the rewind, so we're going to just wank out Violet as much as possible and try and do as much burn damage on this turn, these two turns, technically, as we possibly can. So, we're going to flirt with, what skills should I send? We end up, we got to use Toa right here, and then we're going to give away to Violet. That way she has, 5 orbs. It'd be better if she had 6, but, whatever. That's how it worked out. So we're going to use Toa, that gives us a whole hand of orange. Now we're going to use the giveaway, which is going to lower fire resistance, and give it to 5 to Violet. And then we will swap in the hero for the rewind for hero. And then we'll do that. And then we'll bring in Shizu for the hero, that way we can maximize our fire damage. And then we're going to send it, and then the rewind's going to hit, and we still have another Toa. So it's looking good so far. So 11.8k is decent damage. Not the best, but it's decent. And he guarded the last hit, which is terrible. But we did good burn damage right there. So now the rewind's kicked in. We have 3 more orbs for Violet, which is great. It'd be better if we had more, but we can't use the giveaway. We've already used it. We've already swapped away hero, so we just kind of got to run with it. Going to use Toa again. That's going to give us a lot of points. And then we're going to use the fire buff right here that we already used. So that's already active. So now we're going to do a bit more damage on these orbs. Another cheeky counter. And then she's up to 20k a hit. And another counter, which I'm actually very surprised that she lived after this hit. I was very, very shocked. But, that's a lot of burn damage right there. Everyone is quite low. We have 3 ults, but turn 5 is the counterattack turn. So either what you have to do here, because you have to send at least 1 orb, is that you must pray that you have some ult you can waste, and that's all you send, or you have someone with a good amount of health that you feel can tank a hit. But, there is the chance that he's going to super counter you, and that unit might die. Just straight up might die. So, it's best to have just a wasted ult. In this case, I was lucky and I had that with Shizu. The AoE didn't really matter. The single target's going to do more, so I saved Benny and Violet. But, we also have to survive the AoE hit after the counterattack. Thankfully, everyone did. And now, turn 6, this is where we have to go. We've got an ult with Benny. We've got a double ult with Violet, which we're not going to get to. But, all the marbles are on this turn, because turn 8, or turn 7, the end of this turn, he binds you in again and locks you, and then he poisons you, and then 2 of my units are going to die, because they're at such low HP. And then he's going to AoE, and then I'm down to 2 units. Maybe 1. So here, I'm debating what skills I should use. We're going to get another stack of burn on because I want to maximize the fire damage. But that leaves us with Atoa, and then 70 points, which unfortunately is not enough to use 2 skills because we already used everything. We could use 2, but they wouldn't really be useful, right? We already have the attack buff on Violet, so that doesn't matter. We can swap between either the burn, or no, not the burn, but the orb giveaway, or the orange buff, which we go with the orange buff because it's a bit more instant damage and it's going to buff Violet's orbs, so that's what we do. So we send Benimaru first. 14.7 is not good. Violet does 38, still not good, and then the follow-up hits 14k, and then the final hit does 30-ish, 27.9, but that is just enough burn damage. I'm pretty sure it's like 16 points over. That was 70,016. I'm pretty sure he had 70,000 left from that. So thankfully, there is our full team clear with the fire team. Again, this is not for new players. 500,000 EP is higher than probably most of my teams. So it's just... good luck. I have only beaten it twice, right? I've only successfully beaten it with 2 different teams. This one that you see now, and the one that you'll see probably tomorrow? Probably probably tomorrow, maybe, depending. But I have been trying with other teams. You can't stun them, so you can't even use the new light team. So that's out the door. I've been trying with the water team, and I've gotten close. But you need some godly RNG for that, and it's not fun. It's more RNG that I want to put towards Jubilee, right? So that's also not a great thing to do. And then there's just no other team that can do enough damage, right? The Light 2.0 team is like, it's a solid option. It just can't do it. It doesn't have enough additional damage. So, I mean, that's it. If you've got another team that you want to have me try and run, that's not dedicated fire or dedicated dark, you be my guest. You let me know in the comments. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.